What's up, you guys? Boris here with today's Finance Talk. Thanks for joining in on the discussion. I appreciate all the support. If you find the content valuable, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop any comments. I encourage you guys' feedback. I appreciate it. I try to take the time to respond to all the comments. So please, I encourage you guys, please join the discussion and drop some comments. Today's talk is about mortgages. None other than mortgages. Is it beneficial for you to pay off your mortgage faster? And I know what all the gurus out there are saying, pay off your mortgage faster. Like Dave Ramsey out there is saying, pay off your mortgage faster. You would then have peace of mind. You have equity in your home, which is undeniably most Americans' wealth is derived from their equity in their home, which is powerful. And I'm not downplaying that, but I'm stating that you could better leverage your equity. You shouldn't be utilizing the equity in your home as a savings vehicle. You should be saving through another vehicle. And when you have enough savings to then pay off your mortgage, then you could pay it off. But don't continually every month send extra money to the mortgage company to pay off your mortgage that way. What I'm stating is find a better investment and put that extra mortgage payment into another investment. Save in a different investment vehicle. You will grow your money exponentially faster by putting it in the stock market, for instance, until the date at which you have amassed enough wealth to then pay off your mortgage. Then go ahead, by all means, empty out that savings account, empty out that stock brokerage account, and pay off your mortgage. But don't just send monthly payments extra. Don't send an extra $500 a month to the mortgage company. There's a more efficient way to do so. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a case study. We're going to take the same extra $500 a month. So let's say, for instance, you're able to set aside $500 a month additional to send to your mortgage company every month to try to pay off your mortgage faster. And we're going to take that same $500 a month and put it into the stock market. We're going to save in that investment vehicle. And we're going to see what's the more beneficial way in which to save for paying off your mortgage faster. Alright, you guys, here's a quick rundown on today's case study. Let's say theoretically we purchased a home for $300,000 and we took out a 30-year mortgage with a 3% interest rate. That's amortized over 30 years. Our principal and interest payment is $1,264. Well, that number is negligible for a case study, so don't worry about that number. What we're concerned about is an extra $500 a month. So let's say in addition to the $1,264, you're able to send an extra $500 a month. The question is, how much faster would you have been able to pay off your mortgage by sending an extra $30 a month? An extra $500 a month. So here's some variables. We just plug in 300 grand, 30 years, 3% interest. All right, and then in the next screen, this is courtesy of Dave Ramsey, by the way. DaveRamsey.com provides this calculator, so you're able to calculate how much quicker you're able to pay off your mortgage by different amounts, sending different amounts monthly. So in our case study, we're putting in $500 a month, and we're doing so monthly, right? So when you hit the results, you come to the conclusion that you're able to pay off your mortgage 11 years, 6 months faster. Basically, you're able to pay your mortgage in 18 and a half years as opposed to 30 years. So yeah, that's amazing. You're able to shave off more than a third of the mortgage time span. Incredible, powerful stuff, no doubt. But let me take it a step further. Let's do another case study. Let's do a case study in which we take that same $500 a month, which is equivalent to $6 grand per year, and we put it into the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has returned an annualized average return of 9.8% per year over the past 90 years on average. So on average, you're making 9.8, almost just a little shy of 10% per year on your money if you had put it into the S&P 500. I think a lot of people are outperforming and doing a lot better than 10% per year, but let's take an average return over the last 90 years. So I'm going to be very conservative. After 15 years, we would have had 200 grand. After 15 years, we would have had sufficient assets to pay off the balance of our mortgage. Because if you take a look at a simple mortgage amortization calendar, this is a chart that just breaks down the 30-year breakdown of the mortgage. On the 15th year, which is here, I'm going to highlight the 15th year right here. Year 15 is 2035, 15 years from now. We would have had the mortgage balance would have been somewhere between $180,000 and $190,000 on year 15. However, we would have had $200,000 sitting in this account. So we would have had sufficient assets on year 15 to pay off the mortgage. So what you have here is a savings of 3.5 years, because with Dave Ramsey's calculator, it took us 18.5 years to pay off our mortgage, as opposed to 15. Now let me take it one step further. Let me make sure how much more powerful this is. Let's take those same 3.5 years, and let's say we left the money sitting in this account with that tracks the S&P 500. Let's say we left it in there for 18.5 years as opposed to 15 years. That account would have grown to 311 grand as opposed to the 200,000 we had after year 15. Now let's compare that to the mortgage payoff schedule. Now here's the schedule. If you look at the far right of the screen, June of 2038 will bring us to 18.5 years. June of 2038, the mortgage balance would have been $156,000, the payoff balance. So if you subtract 311 by 156, here's my calculator, the difference would have been $155,000. So now what's the difference, you guys? In both examples, you would have paid off your mortgage in 18.5 years. In the first example, you would have paid it in 15.5 years, as opposed to 18.5 years. But in the second example, if we took the same 18.5 years and we just simply left it sitting in the account that tracks the S&P 500 for those same 18.5 years, after 18.5 years, if you took out the sufficient assets to pay off your mortgage, you had still remaining an additional $166,000. That's a difference of $166,000 you would have had by simply putting the money, sending an extra $500 per month to an account that tracks the S&P 500, as opposed to sending it to your mortgage company. Now, I'm going to challenge you guys to think critically. I'm not a proponent of paying off your mortgage. I'm not the individual to state what your goals should and should not be. My goals are not to pay off my mortgage. My goals are to leverage my equity. I don't send extra money to the mortgage company. What I do is, if any have any extra reserves, I leverage those reserves to then buy more real estate rental properties. I'll even take out the equity in the properties that I have and in the form of a cash out refinance, or in the form of a home equity line of credit, but I'll take the equity out of my properties and I'll leverage that equity to buy more real estate. My goal is to control as many assets as possible, as many cash flowing assets as possible. Now, those are my goals. I'm not stating that my goals should be in line with your goals. I'm not stating that you shouldn't have a goal set to pay off your mortgage faster if those are your goals. What I'm challenging you is to think of different ways in which to accomplish those goals. What is the best use of those scarce resources you're funding? What is the best use? Is it wise to simply send extra money to your mortgage company every month, or is it wise to invest that money in a different investment vehicle? And once you've accumulated enough assets to pay off your mortgage balance, by all means do so. I hope this was a great discussion, you guys. Thanks for joining in today. Once again, please like and subscribe if you appreciate the content. It really motivates me to continue to put out good content for you guys. Thanks for all of the support, you guys.